video for my vlog. So welcome to another edition of Bulldog Fool 81's video blog. It's been a while since I've been able to do one because of Wi-Fi issues and stuff in the past. Well, it's working really well tonight due to the fact that as of yesterday morning, I believe, they cut down one of the really large trees next to the apartment. It was near a power line, which was also causing power outage and all kinds of other issues. So, one of the reasons they did that was so they can also help with internet issues. So maybe I can finally start doing more videos. Now I know that it doesn't take internet signal to be able to, film a video, but then to be able to upload it and just be able to have time on here. My wife has to use the computer a lot and other sort of, issues that go on. So yeah, and we recently just bought a new one, so this should be a little bit better quality for everybody's enjoyment. So yeah, I wanted to talk about the issue going on here in the United States right now. Now, I don't know how many of you brethren across the world, you probably do know about the government shutdown that we're having right now. Technically, that's a misnomer. It's not a shutdown, or else you wouldn't have any money going to the government. You wouldn't have any taxes paid to the government. There wouldn't be any social security or any type of Medicaid or anything, whatever. No social services, no financial aid, no anything. So basically, it would just be anarchy. Even, we wouldn't have a government. If we didn't have a government at all, we wouldn't have a president, Congress would basically just be anarchy. Of course, that's not going to happen because the powers that be won't let that happen because they want to keep their power. And it would be destructive anyway. So, excuse me a moment. Yeah, I need to get a haircut. But anyways, yeah, they wouldn't let that happen. So it's actually just more of a government slim down. Now, what does that mean exactly? Well, in terms of just any normal functioning, it's pretty much status quo. However, well, let me trace back a little bit. Talk about a little bit of history of it. Since 1976, there have been 18 government shutdowns in the United States. Most of them have been pretty small, maybe a day or two, a few days. The largest one happened in 95, 96, and it lasted longer than 4 days. It's the only one that has. So most of these don't really last very long. They're usually just more political maneuvers. It's a great, convenient way to do the blame game. And now, what was going on in 95, 96 was that you had Bill Clinton as president of the United States. The Republicans had both the House and Senate at the time. Democratic president, Republican House and Senate. They controlled the House and Senate. Newt Gingrich was Speaker of the House at the time. And yeah, so there was tons of friction between those. Now, the friction did help lead to the boom in the economy in the late 90s through early to mid 2000, before the dot-com bubble burst and 9/11 and things like that. But so it was a pretty decent shutdown then. I only bring this point up because A, it probably will not last that long, and B, it's not going to destroy the economy. It does hurt it, and the reason it hurts it is because it hurts government employees who are receiving paychecks from the government. But if certain wings or aspects or sectors of the government shut down, well, then they're not going to be able to work, and they're going to be sent home, so forth. Now, there was some concern that the military, some of the military soldiers would not be able to get paid, but that certainly didn't happen, and because they're still considered a necessary form, a necessary government job. Whereas more of your civil corps engineers, more your desk government jobs, lower desk government jobs, and so forth. Non-essentials is what I think they're called. The non-essential jobs, they were cut. Well, they weren't cut. They were just, they're not working because it's not operating. So there's a massive reality that they're going to be losing lots of their paycheck, and that will of course hurt the economy because then they won't have as much money, and they will not be able to buy goods and services, which hurts that business because they're not having as much business come in, because the business that would come in doesn't have any money. The people don't have the money to be able to pay them for goods and services, and so forth. It really hurts Washington, D.C., the town, because all their tourism and all the government jobs there, well, they're basically just going to be out of work for a while, for an indeterminate amount of time. And so they're really going to be struggling bad. And it's a lot of like small jobs, like the Smithsonian. Okay, I was there in late June. I was at DC June 29th and June 30th of this year. If you're an employee that works at the Smithsonian, at the when you walk in, you go through the metal detectors and so forth. There's security guards, or even some of the ones that work at the gift shop. I think they're not going to be working because the Smithsonian is closed. So they're basically out of work for a while. And here's another even more ridiculous scene involving that. I was reading, I think it was NBC News had a picture of them barricading off the Lincoln Memorial. Well, I was at the Lincoln Memorial. If in case anybody doesn't know, it's free to go there. It's free to go to any memorial. Even Smithsonian, you just go. It's just a big landmark. You just go. There's a little gift shop in there. Well, those employees are not going to be there because it's going to be closed off. I do find it slightly ridiculous that they would close off the whole memorial, though, because they don't guard it. It's just there. Unless they guard it at night. I don't think so, though. And so I don't understand why they had to barricade off the Lincoln Memorial, but I can understand why they had to close off the gift shop and how they barricaded it off. And also we were at the World War II Memorial, and there was a lot of the U.S. vets, armed forces vets, were there having a rally service. I have to recheck that one about exactly what parameters that was, but it was they basically were protesting without signs what's going on, and the reason why is because several things. The reason why there was a government shutdown is because they could not come to an agreement by 11:59 on September 30th, very beginning of October 1st. They were not able to pass the budget for this year. That is the reason why you have all this, is because Congress wasn't able to pass the budget. However, if you believe everything that the mainstream media and propagandist artists tend to throw out at you, it will be assumed that the Republicans were just being mean and they were fighting the Obamacare. which for those who live in other countries and do not know what this is, it's basically just socialized medicine. A lot of other countries around the world have it. UK has it. Canada has it. So on and so forth. But they were protesting that. Nancy Pelosi said it was a Tea Party shutdown. It was a move against the Tea Party. That it was a move by the Tea Party. That this was like a Tea Party victory for them. Tea Party was ecstatic, which is preposterous. But then again, she one time said that there would be 500 million Americans that would be helped by the healthcare law, which is interesting because there's not even that many Americans. There's a little over 300 million. So yeah, the government shutdown was because they could not come up with a budget. The Republicans tried. They tried on 3 different accounts. They tried to pass one involving the national parks. That failed. And I'd have to look at the stats to see the exact numbers. Veterans benefits, that failed. And on, what's the other one? I'm not remembering it this time exactly what it is. I think it, But yeah, you had veterans benefits. You had 3 of them. That's an important thing. 3 of them. 2 of them were veterans benefits and national parks. And so, and interestingly enough, the vets didn't get their separate benefits because of that, and because that was shut down, that was voted down, and the national parks were closed today, which is ironic because Yosemite celebrated its birthday as a national park. Of course, it's nature, so it really didn't have a birthday per se. But yeah, so and they were and those 3 things were shot down. But yet it spun as though they were trying to cause it, when in reality they were trying to prevent it from happening. But it was shot down by this. It was shot down, and Harry Reid actually said that, well, they should just they should just pass the Senate bill, and that was voted on by both Republicans and Democrats, which is ridiculous. But anyway, yeah. But basically, they're just strong arming the law and strong arming the House and strong arming the American people. So, comments, questions, anything. I'm going to try to make more videos. I'm actually going to start doing more videos involving the Myers-Briggs test, because it's something I'm fairly passionate about. My wife's a counseling major. She's getting her master's degree in psychology, and it's just something I think is interesting. So, take care.